So I often talk about present moment awareness, yet today I want to talk about future orientation and how it is important for happiness. So a lot of times we have a vague idea of what we want our futures to look like. I want to buy a house when I'm in my 30s. I want to find a partner. I want to be making X amount of dollars at my job. But we never really make a specific goal to ensure that we're living our daily lives in congruency with achieving that goal. So it's interesting because when we were in school, we had everything kind of broken down for us. For our research paper, the first draft is due in week 1, the second draft is due in week 2. We were trained our whole lives to set these goals. We weren't going to learn Spanish in a month, right? And we have to do that for ourselves when we're on our own. And it's a beautiful thing to think about your future and to make optimistic plans of, this is where I see myself, this is what I value. I believe that if we stay together as a family and make X amount of dollars, we'll be able to live a happy life in, this neighborhood. You want to generate optimistic ideas about your future so that you're living purposefully, knowing that you are living working towards this goal. So recently I was talking to 2 separate friends, and both of them have a goal to buy a house in the next couple of years. And one of them was more specific with her goal than the other person. And so I wanted to kind of touch on SMART goals as it relates to planning for your future. So SMART is an acronym that means specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And there's a couple different variations, yet they all kind of mean the same thing. So my one friend knew that she wanted to save up $30,000 in 2 years. So she knew that she needed to save up a little bit more than $1,000 a month to get to this point. So she set a goal to save $1,500 a month. She built in some of that cushion, and she had ways that she was going to do that. She was going to put away a portion of her paycheck every other week or however much she got paid. And she was going to measure it and make sure that she kept on it. And she had that goal of doing it in 2 years. And it was really specific, and it seemed really attainable, and she was doing the actions to get there. My other friend wanted to save up to buy a house, and I was like, well, how much do you need to save up? She's like, $20,000. So I said, well, have you thought about how much you need to put away each month to do this, to reach this goal? And she was like, you know what, I haven't. And we did the math, and it was like $1,000 a month. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's like actually doable. That's exciting. Let's go for it, So I want to make sure that you're not just going through the motions and going through the day-to-day without thinking about your future. Because in addition to thinking optimistic thoughts about your future, you can use this as a set point to let things kind of roll off your shoulders that are without mattering so much. So for example, you don't give the greatest presentation at work. Is this going to matter 5 years from now? No, unless you bomb every presentation for X amount of time, you're probably not going to get fired, and it's probably not going to affect your future. So when you're stressed out about these little things and feeling anxiety over things that are coming around the bend, just know that this too shall pass, and know that you still are able to do the things that you need to do to work towards your goal. So I challenge you to take stock of what is important to you in terms of where you want to be 5 years from now. What are your values? Where What are your beliefs? Where do you want to be? What are the people that surround you? What are the steps that you need to take to get where you want to go? Get it all down on paper. Organize it from your head down on paper, because our thoughts can ruminate and go wild in our brain and kind of not come out in an organized way. So get it out on paper and then make a couple of SMART goals using the acronym: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, and go for it. And if you have a partner, share it with your partner, work towards it together. And it's just a great way to have some excitement for what's in store, especially if what your present day-to-day life is not that exciting. But that's a different video on how to make your day-to-day exciting. But thank you. I hope this was helpful. And remember, think about your future. It creates more happiness within you, and you'll be feeling more purposeful and more happy in your day-to-day if you have your eye on the prize.